Mike's on.
If these Lou Lamoriello rumors are true, it is a big day for Islander fans. That is for sure, because I know he's not young. I know he's 75. Still one of the great executives in sports history. Really is. And he still wants to do this. And if he still wants to do it, I'm sure he can still do it, because I know one thing about Lou. I've known Lou a long time, and, I think I know him pretty well. He's extremely practical. He wouldn't do it if he didn't think he could do it. And you know what? That is going to be big for Islander fans if that's true. And you're hearing it everywhere. Now, I don't know if it's true yet because they haven't confirmed it. But if it is true, that is a big day for Islander fans. No question about it. Stephen Bayside, what's up, Steve?
What's up, Mike? About Greg Bird, the guy was saying that his injury history dates back to the shoulder. It actually goes back even further than that. The only thing I would say
some
about
guys
that
are just very injury prone. It just happens,
Yeah, and, but there are, now, one thing you do have to say, too, you think back to a guy like Bernie Williams. Early in his career, he was injury prone. Phil Hughes had
but never like this, though. Never like, Bernie Williams never had a run like this guy's had. This guy's just, he's been incredibly brittle.
He has, but, and he has a lot to prove. But there are guys that need to learn what it takes to stay on the field, to put their work in before they wind up in the trainer's room.
Yeah, but I don't think these are like I don't think it's like he doesn't take care of himself. He's had a lot of, just, I don't want to say bad luck, just some guys are brittle. Some guys just are breakable. Some guys just get hurt a lot. Some guys, they're just not made well. It happens. There are guys like that. And they break, and they tear a lot of things, and they break a lot of bones, and there are guys who are just cursed like that.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. And but there is also hope for a guy like him. I don't think it's a death sentence as far as his early injury-prone history. There are examples of guys that get past that.
Hey, hopefully he does. I agree. I like him a lot. I hope it does. I hope it happens. But again, it's fair to also say it's time to show us. He's been hurt a lot. Jason in New Haven, what's up, Jason?
I wanted to talk about LeBron. I'm happy to have you back to him.
Thank you. What's happening?
So LeBron in the last 8 years has made the finals, but he's in the East, and you can't really I know it's his legacy, and it's going to go down as one of the best players ever. But what it really comes down to is Michael Jordan was playing in the East back then when it was a powerhouse, and that's the difference, I think.
Why? Because when he plays against the West, he doesn't perform well, right?
Well, he doesn't perform that well. He lost to the Mavs.
Wait a second. You're telling me LeBron doesn't perform well in the finals?
No, he does perform. He always has good numbers.
Well, I'm saying, it's not not him. It's about winning.
It's about winning.
It's about winning.
He's the best shooting guard in the history of the NBA.
But he's won plenty. He's already. It's not like he hasn't won. He's won a ton.
He's won a ton, but it's been in the East.
Wait a second. Hasn't he won 3 championships?
Since then?
Hasn't
Michael Jordan won 6 in a row.
Wait, so I understand he did. He had great teams. Hasn't LeBron won 3 championships?
He has won 3 championships.
Okay, so
has he had great teams? Has he had great?
No, he really hasn't. The team in Miami was a good team. It wasn't a great team. It was a good team. It was a good team. It was a really solid team. I don't think it was a great team. I think Michael had a couple of great teams. I don't think LeBron's ever played on what I call a great team. I think Michael played on a couple of great teams. I think the Heat teams were good. I don't think they were great. I think they were really good teams. And they won a couple of championships. I think they should have won 3 out of 4. That's the biggest knock I think you can have on him, is that he should have won 3 out of 4 in Miami, not won 2 out of 4. I think that's your biggest knock on him. He kind of gave away those early years there where he was still in a funk. I think that's the biggest knock on him. But he's taken some terrible teams, absolutely terrible teams to the final. Teams that are 20-win teams. Look, they've left those teams, and the teams win 20 games the next year. We know what they are. So, he's taken some bad teams. Michael never took a bad team to the championship. He never dragged the team along. And here's a perfect example. Michael left. Scottie Pippen, without Michael on the team, won 54 games the next year. And if not for Hugh Holland's call, might have gone to the finals and played Houston and won. Who knows? They won 54 games that year without him. Andrew in Paramus. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
What's happening?
Mike, real quickly, last week we were talking about the gambling, and then you were saying how, future, you'll have kiosks, in the stadiums.
I think that's a long way off. And remember, I said that's probably 10 years off. I think it will happen.
No,
I think you actually might even have it at your seats. I think it actually could be as advanced as that, where you could actually have it at your seat. But I think it's probably a decade away.
But don't you think, though, the state will work around it like the colleges? If you put that kiosk in my stadium, I'm going to charge a fee. So now a $2 bet now becomes a $5 bet because you have to pay, kind of like when you use the ATM.
I don't know that will be passed down. It's more likely that instead of it being passed down to the player or the fan, meaning the guy who wages, I think it probably will be that the stadium or the team will get a cut of the operation. Because look at this now. Here's the thing you got to explain to me, and no one's really delved into it yet. How are the teams getting paid here? Someone tell me how the teams are going to get paid. The idea of this integrity tax, never happening. Never happening.
No, exactly.
Matter of fact, the NFL's already pulled out of the integrity tax. So the integrity tax isn't happening. So right now, this is not going to federal law because the states want no part of it, and this Supreme Court decision makes it a state issue. So now the states are going to say, we're going to pay you the same way Vegas paid you, which means you're getting zero. So from that standpoint, explain to me, how are the leagues going to make money here?
Yeah, right, because who's done the audit? What's the guideline? What's the metrics that they've been using to get that?
They've gotten zero in Las Vegas. They've given the state of Nevada nothing. So we've had legal gambling for a long time, and the leagues have been paid zero during that time. Now all the states, or a good number of them, are going to have legal gambling, and they're going to want to pay the leagues the same thing, nothing. So the leagues are saying, wait a second, what do we do to get our little seat at the table? That's what they're going to figure out now. And that's where you'll see this take a quick turn, because that's the thing that the leagues are going to want and the owners are going to want to say is, wait a second, how do we get involved? We can't get federal legislation. It's not going to work. So what do we do? How do we get involved? They're making money off our games. How do we get involved? And we'll wait and see how that happens. If you notice, a company like DraftKings that wants to be a big player, who owns them? Kraft, Jerry Jones, baseball has a piece. They have a deal with the NFL. Maybe they're an option. But how do they get in every state? That's going to be the key. And how does every sport get involved? Then you have the issue of security, where there's two populations that have to be secured: officials and college players. Those are the two issues that have to be secured. Those are the two populations of performers that have to be secured. So this is a very tricky situation now. It's got a lot of different tentacles. It really does, because there's no real quick way for the leagues to get paid. Now, their ratings are going to go up because they think more people are going to gamble, more people are going to watch the game. More people are going to watch the game longer. Might be true. It's a fair argument. That's the more Cuban argument. That's a fair one. But people have not done, a lot of people who have reported on this have not done a very good job, because, let me take that back. It's not that they haven't done a good job. They've tried to do it in a very elementary way. This is a complex issue because there's a lot of different layers to it. So that's why there's a lot of different things that have to be examined. Like right now, if you look at a state like New York, which has a tremendous, like they're a jewel, right? People want New York State. Just like people want California. People want New York State. They want Florida. They want Texas. They want the big states. They want the states that have big populations. Now, how is New York going to get involved? You look to Albany and say, all right, how is the state of New York getting involved? I don't know. I haven't heard yet. Waiting to see. Waiting to hear. That's why we put a call into Andrew Cuomo to ask him exactly how they're getting involved. We're waiting to see. I mean, because that's really what you're looking at, is how they getting involved. Ryan in Massapequa. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
What's happening?
Looking at the Mets season, they had a good weekend, but I know you've been negative, and justifiably, you've been negative with the Mets. If the season goes the way it's been going, where, they win 3 games and maybe lose the next 2, they'll probably end up a 500 team at best. I mean, I think that's what we're looking at, right? I mean, so is it possible that at the deadline they go through a fire sale? I mean,
I don't see it. I don't think that's what their intention is, unless they really, Ryan, broke down completely. I don't see them trading. If fire sale means trading Syndergaard or LeGrom, I don't really see it. I do not see it. I think that's extreme. I don't think, because I think they feel we have a nucleus now. It's not that young. We're not starting over right this minute. It's not the best way for us to attack these things. I think they'd rather go out and spend a little money if they could. Now, I'm not talking about spending money for Manny Machado. I don't see that happening. I'm talking about in-between money. Best businesses are always improving. That's why Spectrum Business is doubling their starting internet speed from 100 to 200 megabits per second without increasing the price. Now, businesses in New York City can get Spectrum Business internet without speed starting at 200 megabits per second, and prices starting at just $44.99 per month. That's a speed other providers can't beat at a price they can't match, which means you'll get faster internet and you can accomplish more things every day. Plus, you'll have more bandwidth to power everything that is connected to your network, and you'll save money to boot. So take advantage of this opportunity to improve your business. Call 866-750-9726, 866-750-9726, and switch to Spectrum Business today. You get speed, excuse me, as speeds up to 200 megabits per second, still for just $44.99 per month. That's 866-750-9726.